Well, hello again, all you fabulous people. I'm Sheri Hauser, brand steward at Victoria Truth Center, and I am here with the spiritual director, Lesia Kohut.
Hi.
And this is another episode, number 17 of What's Up, Spirit? We're here to
17.
talk about what's going on in the realm of our spiritual mind, our spiritual bodies. How are we being in this new week?
Mhm.
And I know for me, I'm having a whole new appreciation for this beautiful land that we live on. I'm recording from my home on the land of the Lekwungen speaking people, known as the Esquimalt and Songhees Nation. And it's on this beautiful land where my husband and I found a home. So grateful to be here. We have a lilac tree that is in full bloom right now. It
Mhm.
is so glorious. And I'm fresh back from the desert, from Joshua Tree out in California, where everything is so dry and such a different landscape. So much appreciation for the desert and the cactuses and just the life that is so different. And then coming back here yesterday to all of this plush green and the flowers that are in just blooming everywhere. I've got some purple irises I didn't even know were in the yard of this property. So, what are you noticing, Lasia?
Uh, well, firstly, I am noticing from Brentwood Bay, which is very close to the Sartlip Nation, where the Wasain or Sinchothan speaking people are, the Wasanich people. And here, this is also known as the land of maples or the land of emerging peoples. And it's just so gorgeous here. Like, just it feels lush, like you were saying, with all of the leaves on the trees and the grass. And we have a lovely little creek running through our yard. And my husband Glenn mowed the lawn for the first time since the fall a couple of days ago. Like, the grass was really super high. And there's so much moss underneath. It's just like nature's carpet. It just like it's just so squishy and lush because there's water underneath, and so it's so nourishing and cool and just satisfying. And so I'm really appreciating this beautiful, what feels now like summer weather, and the opportunity to just lie in the sun for a bit today and feel the sun on my skin, which I haven't felt in that way since, the end of last summer. And so just, I guess, really feeling connected with nature and life, and this sort of, emergence of, you were talking about the blossoms and the flowers and the surprises that come up out of the soil and out of the buds and, out of the sky and whatever, every single spring, as life just, surges back to life, sort of thing. And so I'm noticing all of this energy around me, which for me also is very energizing and activating for myself as well. I feel like that every single time. And that first day that I get to lie out in the sun, I just feel like I start to come alive. So that's what I'm noticing.
Ah, love hearing about this activation that the sun on the skin.
Yeah.
That feeling is so great. There's something about it. It's it's like it penetrates our skin in a different way. The sun, there's something kind of sinking in, saturated about it that feels nourishing, even though sun rays on certainly Caucasian skin is maybe not the healthiest.
Well,
And
I'm
yet the vitamin D, our eyeballs and our skin crave it.
yeah. Yeah. And so for me, I mean, I feel that, and I really, I sort of revel in the self generation of vitamin D, because it does feel very different, it happening in the body in conjunction with the sun, rather than taking some drops of oil or some tablets or something like that, especially in the not as sunny weather. But for me, when you're talking about that sort of that nourishing feeling of the sun on the skin and the penetration, for me, it also, especially since I read Paul Levy's The Quantum Revelation a few years ago, where towards the end of the book, he talks about how we are the sun, how there's no delineation, there's no separation from, the sun and then the air and then our skin and then sort of who we are and the energy that we are, that it's just all one thing, an extension, part and parcel of all of it. And that for me is what I feel at this time of year and in the summertime, just feeling oneness, just this incredible connection with the sun and the grass and the ferns and the trees and the leaves and the air and the creatures and the sounds and the movement and the energy, all of it just, all of it happening out here, but all of it happening in here, and just that this interconnectivity or intertwinglement, as I wrote about in my book, like that just really comes alive for me at this time of year. And I just love feeling it, love basking in that, and just really appreciate being reminded that it's all one.
I was sitting with the we're all one, and the animals and the plants. And that was coming through in something I was just reading. And so I love that you brought that in. I haven't read Paul Levy. That was the
Mhm.
author.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't read that book.
Mhm.
Um, so we've been doing some pretty interesting things at the Truth Center that we're always inviting people into to come to our spiritual experiences with live music every Wednesday, and our salon on fourth Friday. We have music and mantras on fourth Monday with Coralina, and our Celebrate Sunday services. You can learn more about all of these events on our website at victoriatruthcenter.org. Is there anything else you'd like to say in closing, Lesia?
The only thing that really comes to mind is it's because of our theme for the month, which is faith. And there have been some really, really interesting conversations and shares so far, on Sunday and on the Wednesdays that we've been there this month. And it's really interesting to me, because this is the first month where I'm pretty sure that I've noticed where not all the shares are or, and I don't know if I'm going to articulate this exactly as I want, but aren't sort of, super positive and, on topic and whatever, that with this month of faith, that people are feeling comfortable enough and safe enough to say, I'm not really 100% sure that I feel that way. I have doubts, and to hear that, from people in the community, to be okay to say, like, I don't know if I'm like 100% there yet, sort of thing, um, has been very, very moving and very humbling. And I'm just so grateful to everyone who has really just been vulnerable or felt, safe and brave enough to be as vulnerable as they have been in some of the shares that we've had. Because it just goes to show that even if we follow some kind of teaching, or we have certain beliefs, or we think certain thoughts, that it's an ongoing process, this process of growth and evolution and expansion. And sometimes it can feel like I'm not really sure that, things are going as well as I would like. I don't really understand what it is that is going on. And so just seeing as our community grows, that people are feeling a bit more comfortable to open up and be more vulnerable than they have been in the past, um, to me is a sign of faith, and just trusting and accepting that people are finding, whether you want to say spiritual home, but are finding community in the offerings that are happening at BTC. So just really appreciating that that's what's happening, and that our community is building and growing together, sort of outward, but also like inward in a more foundational way. So that's just what I wanted to sort of finish off with, because that's what was coming to mind.
Yeah, beautiful. I love how you're appreciating where everyone's at. I mean, you're someone who, in my experience of you, is a humble
Mm,
director. Like, there's things that you know, and you're really willing to meet people where they're at.
mm,
And to me, that that creates accessibility, it creates inclusion, it creates belonging. And these are ways in which you're very gifted as a leader and community builder. I'm so grateful to be doing this work by your side.
thank you. And likewise, 100% from me too to you.
So, signing off another episode of What's Up, Spirit. We'll see you all here in another week's time.
Bye.
Thank you, Lacia. Bye for now.